Chicago Bulls center Nikola Vucevic finally had his first breakout game of the season. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA, and here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. So if you're a Bulls fan, and it is an exciting time to be a Bulls fan, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. And guys, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so let's talk about the Bulls' recent game and victory against the Charlotte Hornets, in which the Bulls, of course, came out victorious 133-119. But the larger story here being that we finally saw Vooch have his first big game of the season. Now, why do I want to talk about this? Because Vooch is vital, absolutely crucial to the Bulls' success, right? And Nikola Vucevic was having a down season to start the season. It's still very early, but he hadn't had any big games thus far. In fact, he wasn't really getting involved in the offense. It was the DMR, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine show. Those two guys were pretty much doing all of the offensive work for us, and Vooch had really turned into a rebounder who would occasionally score. He's too talented to be that role. Vooch needed to assert himself, and this was the perfect matchup. And boy, did he deliver. 30 big points for Nikola Vucevic in this one. 14 rebounds. Oh, and let me throw 6 out of 6 from the three-point line at you. That's what our big man, Vooch, can do. And that's what you love about him, right? Because he can score inside, he can score outside, step outside and shoot that three. He can rebound with the best of them. Oh, throwing 5 assists. And you got one of the best bigs in the NBA. So this was huge, not only for the Bulls, but for Vooch and his confidence moving forward, because the Hornets, again, aren't very good on the interior, so you could kind of see this coming. But when we go up against the biggest guys in the middle, right, you go up against the Joel Embiids, you go up against guys like that, you want Vooch to be able to hold his own, and you want Vooch to dominate against teams that don't have size. So that's why Vooch is very important, because when you take a look at the two best teams in the Eastern Conference, in the Nets and the Bucks, what do the Bulls have that they don't? A big that can do it all. And the Nets don't have one like that, right? Kevin Durant to me is a wing, so I'm not considering him a big. And the Bucks don't have that. Brook Lopez is a spot-up shooter, right, who's allergic to rebounding. So the big advantage is really to have our big man in the middle dominate their weaknesses, right? Philly, I didn't mention Philly, but to me, I don't think they're one of the best teams in the East compared to those two. Again, depending on what happens with the move for Ben Simmons. But even Philly, right? Philly has Embiid, so you need somebody who can counter that, right? Challenge Embiid on the other side. So that's why it's so important, guys. And I want to see this progress coming, because all of the good teams have wing scores. You got KD, you got Harden, you got Giannis, you got Middleton. All of the teams have perimeter scores, and we have them too in Zach and DeRozan. But we need a big, or I should say we have a big that can do it all. Let's use them. All right, so love seeing that. That's why I wanted to point it out. So get Vooch involved early every single game. Let him take advantage of matchups. And when Vooch plays like this, this is the result. You get 133 points, which is the most the Bulls have scored all season, and 100 points plus through 3 quarters. First time the Bulls did that, folks. This game is literally the perfect game for how the Bulls should be playing, or I want them to be playing. You got Vooch with 30. You had Zach LaVine with 25, 6 and 5. DeMar DeRozan with 28, 5 and 6. I mean, that's literally what you want. And not to mention Alonzo chipping in with 16 points, 8 assists. And even Alex Caruso chipping in with 14 points and 7 assists. So this was the perfect game. Perfect game for how I want the Bulls to be, being able to outscore their opponents just because they're not elite defensively, even though they've been very solid this season. But yeah, the game we lost against, I'm forgetting here, Miami, I think it was. Yes, 22 turnovers. This game against Charlotte is not as good as Miami, but 10 turnovers. Story of the game, turnovers. Got to be able to keep them down. But overall, folks, biggest takeaways. Loved seeing what I saw from Vooch, and we need to get him going and involved early. He is a huge recipe for our success. He kind of makes the offense go, because Zach and DeMar can get their shot anytime they want. Vooch needs to get the shot within the flow of the offense, right? And so Not saying he can't get his own shot, but you see what I mean by that is it needs to be within the confines of the offense. So I'm going to be looking forward to more big games out of our big three, maybe even big four with Lonzo. And by the way, Lonzo and LaMelo going back at it. That was fun. The Ball brothers. LeVar maybe wants to bring the Ball brothers to Chicago. I don't know. Maybe I'll make another video about that. But LaMelo had a pretty good game. 18.7 rebounds, 13 assists. But the Bulls shot 60%, and that's all she wrote, folks. So overall, love seeing what I saw from the Bulls. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. So let me know what you guys think about Vooch and him having his first big game. Do you foresee this coming, throughout the rest of the season? What do you think is the biggest key to success for the Chicago Bulls? Leave a comment down below if you guys agree with me or not. Thanks, as always.